the defendant about on April 18th. I had got a call from Mr. Briggs, and he asked me would I ride with him to Grand Rapids, the court. Okay, if you could speak up a little bit, because we are taking a record of this. Now, what did Mr. Briggs tell you why he was going to Grand Rapids? Question mark. The defendant. He asked me would I. He asked me if I would ride along to help him. The court. Okay, to help him do what? The defendant. Pick, pick up, pick up, pick up some cocaine. The defendant here is Kenneth Knight. His co-conspirators were Saul Briggs and Brandon Lilly. This is the federal case from 2012 when 2 kilos of cocaine was sent to an address in Grand Rapids, Michigan. This episode of Flip Side of the Game is brought to you by Bad Boy Bail Bond. What you're looking at on the screen is the actual indictment. And as you can see, it's 4 people on this indictment. Why? Because it's a conspiracy. And all individuals in the conspiracy are named on the indictment. Those 4 people are Kenneth Lang Knight, Saul Douglas Briggs, Brandon Cedric Lilly, and Bradley Joseph Hancock. There are 2 counts in the indictment. And this is important. We'll get back to this later on in the series when it comes to the 2022 indictment dealing with the fentanyl and the 25-year sentence. In this series, we'll go over what's called transcripts, which is nothing but a word by word record of what was said in open court on a court date. In this case, it's Kenneth Knight's sentencing transcript. And as you can see in the intro, he will be pointing the finger at Saul Briggs. All right, this is the sentencing transcripts for Kenneth Blaine Knight, the United States of America versus Kenneth Lang Knight. This is a sentencing transcript. Now, most of it is just small talk. Please be seated. Court calls case number 112 CR 123 USA versus Kenneth Lee Lang Knight. Good afternoon. Will counsel please put your appearances on the record? His uh, the prosecutor's name is Miss Scheckmer. His lawyer's name is Miss Nywenhouse or whatever, however you pronounce this. So, all right, but the good stuff don't start until page 15. So let's just go down to page 15. And this is where they put the facts on the record. All right. The court. I'm sorry. I meant the facts that will be offered at trial. And after she's done that, Mr. Lang Knight, I'll be asking you to tell me in your own words what you did that makes you guilty. You may proceed. Ms. Scheckman. Your Honor, if this case were to go to trial, the government will introduce evidence showing that sometime earlier in April, before the 17th of April, but 2012, an express mail package was mailed from Arizona to Grand Rapids, specifically to a T. Spence at 734 Fremont, Northwest in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And that package was subjected to a drug sniff and search warrant. And it, in fact, turned out to have 2 kilos of cocaine inside. The delivery of this package was made under a controlled delivery situation the following day, which would have been April 18th. On April 18th, Postal Inspector Webb, dressed as a mail carrier, delivered the express mail package to the address in Grand Rapids to which it was addressed. At that time, a person by the name of Hancock was sitting on the front porch. He took delivery of the package, took it inside the house, then came back outside the house with another person by the name of Lily and went to a white Envoy Denali that was parked in front of the house slightly forward of the house. At that time, he handed the package to Mr. Lang Knight, who was sitting in the passenger seat of the Envoy Denali, and then Mr. Hancock went back towards the house. At that time, Mr. Briggs, who was the driver of the Envoy Denali, began to drive away. At that time, police came from both sides of the street, both directions, and Mr. Briggs came to a stop. Mr. Lang Knight jumped out of the car and ran to the back of the address that the package was delivered to. I don't think we need to go into all the details about Mr. Briggs and his crashing into police cars and trying to escape the court. I remember, Miss Schegmer. But Mr. Hancock and Mr. Lilly were present. And Mr. Lilly indicated that he arranged with Miss Spencer, who actually the resident of the house, and I believe it's his cousin, to use that address to receive a package. And Mr. Lang Knight ran into the backyard over the fence into another yard, which had a pit bull in it or multiple pit bulls. And the police went around the fence not to jump with the dogs. And by the time they got to the other side, Mr. Lang Knight was gone out of the yard. Then Mr. Lang Knight's girlfriend, trying to find her name, she tried to pronounce it, her last name Crowley, Tanaya or something like that, indicated that around 12:30 in the afternoon, Mr. Lang Knight had called her, asking her to come from Muskegon to Grand Rapids to pick him up. Then at that time that she drove to Grand Rapids to pick him up, he gave her directions over the phone at which she picked him up. He was sitting on the curb wearing only baseball shorts and a t-shirt. At the time when he jumped out of the Envoy Denali, he was wearing a red t-shirt. They drove back to Muskegon. He slept most of the way. She dropped him off where he wanted to be dropped off. He later called her again and asked her to take him over to Amanda Dooley's house on Catawba. He said he had to check on her. Amanda Dooley is Mr. Briggs' girlfriend. They drove him there, and he went into the residence, and Miss Crowley was in the driveway. She was still with the police. Still, when the police arrived at the residence looking for Mr. Lang Knight, she provided telephone numbers for Mr. Lang Knight, and then Mr. Lang Knight was arrested at the residence in Muskegon by police. Subsequently, Mr. Briggs, she says, has already pled guilty. He indicates that he wasn't involved with ordering the cocaine, that they knew the cocaine was coming because they had ordered the specific amount and had made the arrangement with Mr. Lilly to have the package delivered at their address. The court said, okay, Ms. Schegmer. Oh, and I should also say that this charge occurred on April 18th of 2012 in Grand Rapids in Kent County, which is the Western District, and the lab indicates that the kilos were 981.4 grams and 9995.1 grams. The court. Okay, thank you. Mr. Lang Knight, I would like you to just tell me in your own words what happened that makes you guilty of this offense, which you just pled guilty to. The defendant. About on April 18th, I had got a call from Mr. Briggs, and he asked me would I ride with him to Grand Rapids. The court, okay, if you could speak up a little bit because we are taking a record of this. Now, what did Mr. Briggs tell you why he was going to Grand Rapids? The defendant. He asked me he asked me if I would ride along to help him. The court, to help him do what? The defendant, pick up some cocaine. The court, okay, so you knew that you were going to Grand Rapids for the purpose of picking up cocaine. The defendant, yeah, he wanted me to ride around. He wanted me to ride and pick up cocaine for him. The court, okay, so you agreed to help him go pick up cocaine. The defendant, yes. The court, and did you know, in fact, which house in Fremont, Northwest, and Grand Rapids? Yes, I believe so. All right, and did you Did Mr. Briggs ever talk to you about how much cocaine he was going to pick up? No. So you didn't have any idea of the quantity? No. Does that need to be proved? His lawyer asked at trial. No, the court asked, excuse me. The court asked, does that need to be proved, Ms. Shekmer, at trial? Ms. Shekmer said, no, Your Honor. That's his lawyer. The court, just if he made the agreement, that's all you need in a conspiracy, and that there was that much involved. Exactly. Okay. And so when you went to pick up this cocaine, did you ride with Mr. Briggs in the white Denali? Yes. And did you stop at this house on Fremont, Northwest? Yes. And did you know that the cocaine was going to be delivered to that address? No, I didn't, but he didn't. But he did. I didn't know where we was going. He just told me he was going to Grand Rapids, going to pick up something. I didn't know. I didn't know nothing about the house, the court. Okay, but you knew he was going to pick up cocaine. Yes. And he wanted you along for protection. He just wanted me to look out for him. So if there was any police around or anything. So you were going to help him pick up this cocaine in Grand Rapids? Yes. Okay, and did you in fact, were you sitting in the van with him outside the address at Fremont when somebody came and handed the package to you? The defendant. I was sitting in the truck. I was a passenger side of the truck. And were you in fact at that time looking around to see if there were any police around? Yes. Okay. And did a Mr. I don't remember, did Mr. Hancock actually hand the package to you? Yes. And you knew it was cocaine inside? Yes. Okay, and what happened in Grand Rapids on or about 18th, 2012? He said yes. And okay, did you expect to get anything for coming to Grand Rapids? No. You just did it out of friendship or the defendant. He just asked me to ride along with him and I agreed to it. Okay, but you knew it was for the purpose of going to get cocaine. Yes. The court. All right. And did you in fact, when police showed up, did you in fact jump out of the Denali? The defendant. I didn't at first. I know that we had drove off and he reversed. Then I know that all I heard was boom. I wasn't looking back. I'm pretty sure he wasn't looking back either. After he hit something, then I got out. The court. Okay, and you took off then? Yes. Did you take off because you were cornered about you riding in this truck with the cocaine? Yes. Okay, and is the rest of the events as told by Miss Shegmer? Is that basically true? Yes. The court. Okay. Anything further, Miss Shegmer? You want to ask the defendant to establish a factual basis for the plea? Miss Shegmer. When you received the cocaine, it was in a package, right? Yes. And were you intending to get that to Mr. Briggs? It was handed to you, question mark, the defendant. It was handed to me, but it wasn't mine. He handed it to me, and I just placed it in the car. Miss Shegman, okay, but so you intended it to go to Mr. Briggs, question mark, the defendant. Yes. Miss Shegman, okay. The court. And did you know, Mr. Lang Knight, did you know that at the time that you helped Mr. Briggs go and pick up this cocaine, did you know that he was going to sell that cocaine to other people? Yes. I don't know what y'all call this, but paperwork don't lie. Let's keep going. Page 23. So you thought that's what he was going to do with it? Yes. Another yes. The court. Okay. Anything further from your point of view, Miss Neuenhouse? No, Your Honor. All right. Anything further from your point of view, Miss Shegman? No, thank you. The court. All right. Anything further from? Oh, I already read that. The court. All right, Mr. Lang Knight. I'm going to make a report and recommendation to Judge Neff that she accept your plea and adjudicate you guilty because I find that your plea is made knowingly, that you understand what rights you have and what rights you've given up, and that it's voluntary and free from any force, excuse me, threats or promises. That you understand what the charge is and the penalties provided by law. And finally, I do find that the plea has sufficient factual basis, so I'll make the report and recommendation. You will continue to receive credit for any time you spend in custody towards any sentence you might ultimately receive, and I will order a pre-sentence report to be prepared. All right, anything further? Do you have questions you would like to ask at this time? No, Your Honor. That's it. All right. Good luck to you, sir. Miss Noonhouse, anything further from your point of view? No, Your Honor. Thank you. Ms. Shegman, no thank you. The court, all right, this matter is adjourned. Good day to all of you. There you go, 5:07 p.m. After that, you get back on the bus. You go to the platinum room first. That's the holding tank the feds got. It's all stainless steel. I call it the platinum room. You go back there, and then you get on the bus to Nuevo. All right. In the next episode, we're gonna read either Saw paperwork, or we gonna read Brandon Lilly's. But they was all pointing the finger at each other, and I got it. Thank y'all for tuning in to Flip Side of the Game.